that?
Your fault.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Enemy kill.
You're the greatest to ever do it.
That's nice.
Last player standing.
Blocking sight.
He is where I died, but there are two
I'm
more.
gonna save. Actually, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Well, save your starting pistol.
What?
It does stop them from getting money. That's the same thing.
One enemy remaining.
I hear them.
I see someone.
Oh yeah. Cox is up again. They should be making. I just think I cordoned them off.
Yo, what's up boys? It's O'Joys coming at you with another Valorant video, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to play Jett effectively. Now, Jett has one of the coolest kits of anyone in this game, in that she has awesome mobility. And what can you do with awesome mobility? Well, you can outplay your opponents. One of the most common things that I see people do when they play Jett is underusing this smoke ability. They have 3 charges for a reason. The devs obviously intended you to use them for something, so why not learn how to use them properly? So, when you throw them, you should know that when you let go of the key, they have a natural arc, and they drop. But when you hold down the key that you press to throw your grenade, or to throw your smoke, you can look and control where it goes. Now this is extremely useful, especially if you want to line up a beginning of the round smoke. For example, you line it up about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way up this, hold it down, do that, and boom, you've got a one-way. With Jett, I don't think there is a single instance, unless you are getting bum rushed on a site, that you want to smoke the ground or anywhere close to the ground. Because when you have characters that can smoke the ground and a character that can smoke off of the ground, you want your character that can smoke off of the ground to smoke off of the ground. Now, as you can see, if you throw a smoke here, if you're close, look what I can see. Let me throw that again. I can't see anything, but if I'm far, I can see their feet well enough to shoot them. And that is just the advantage that you need on this character. So additionally, you can curve it around corners and do the same thing, but it's a little bit more difficult. There is a ready time after you curve your smokes. You have to leave your arm up while you're curving the smoke. And that's all for the smoke section. Next up, we have the updraft. So updrafts are incredibly useful. Why? Because they can get you into weird spots. Now most people just use these to get into weird positions that you wouldn't normally be in. For example, you are peeking this on B and split, you peek this instead. Yeah, this is cool and all, but it's not the best. Now, if you haven't seen my Jett jump peeks video, you should definitely watch it because it's crazy, but this is just an example of a way to use the ult with updraft. You buy both of the updrafts, you activate your ult, and then you updraft twice, and you peek this. You can see people in heaven, and they don't normally watch this angle, because you can't watch this angle without exposing yourself to getting shot from this angle. Now, additionally, updraft can be used to push from directions that you wouldn't normally push from. For example, your team is pushing in here, and they go up, and they're trying to take heaven. You go down through mid, and provided you clear the site or smoke it in some way, like this, then people back there can't get you, and you can pre-aim that. But you can updraft onto this platform, and then you can push in. And updrafting is just like incredibly useful for these flank situations, where you wouldn't normally be able to flank, but you can now. Now, I should mention that your dash ability is incredibly useful with updrafts, and this is extremely important on sites with very open sight lines. For example, this one, This one has an extremely open sky, so you're not going to be hitting your head on anything. For example, at B, there are spots where you can hit your head on, for example, the roofs of things, and if you jump out of heaven wrong, then you end up hitting your head on the roof of heaven. Anyhow, for example, on A site, if somebody is pushing you, like here, and you don't know exactly where they are, right? Maybe you arc a smoke here, and they can't peek you from there, and you peek out, or you could arc a smoke there, and then updraft and peek like this, and then they have to hit one of the most insane flick shots, because you have to think of it this way. They're going to be aiming either here, 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 or here, right? They're not going to be aiming here. And if you updraft, and then you dodge out to here, you're going to see them, and this flick shot is way harder to hit on a moment's notice than you would imagine. Now, that doesn't mean that pros can't do it, but when you're playing the game normally, people normally can't do it. And when pros do it, oftentimes they will get body shots. So this brings us to your dash ability. Your dash ability is incredibly important because it resets on 2 kills. So if you're going for those crispy aces, then you should know that you can use it about twice per ace. So your dash ability recharges at the beginning of every round, and it is very, very useful. For example, if you're peeking somebody here, you peek somebody, you pre-fire, and then you dash back. You know where they are, they know where you are, you're loud as hell, you peek them, pre-fire, dash back. It's basically a good tool for limiting the exposure that you get on Jett. Now, Jett is a unique character because with each of her abilities, there is a weapon ready time. With updraft, with the dash, with the smoke. So you have to be careful when using these offensively. That's not to say that you can't use them offensively, because you definitely can, but sorry, I keep getting phone calls. Anyhow, that's not to say that you can't use them offensively, because you definitely can. You can push like here, and then like for example at the beginning of the round, you should start about here. You can push here, and then you can peek like this. But that's a little bit dangerous, especially because you just used your only escape method to get in and not out. So what I like to do is I like to save 1 updraft for later in the round, just in case I need it. And I like to save my dash for a time when I feel like I'm going to die, or for when it's the end of the round. Now, these abilities are incredibly useful sometimes. There are other times when updrafting, like here, to peek, is incredibly useless. There's no reason to updraft there, and you shouldn't ever be doing it. But on this map as well, say your teammate smokes this off, and maybe this off too, then you can just updraft here, and you're good. You can peek this, and hold this angle above the smoke. Now, it should also be mentioned that if you're going for jump shots, you can peek onto here with another updraft, but that wastes both of your updrafts, so I wouldn't do that. And additionally, you need to be careful, even if your teammate does smoke off this area here. If you have a Sage, then your Sage can ice wall up here and peek over the smoke and kill you. Ulting with Jett is kind of, I don't want to say difficult, because it's not exactly difficult, but it's fairly difficult. There's no recoil pattern, and so you definitely should be aiming directly at them. You can also move however you like when you're in the ult, and it will still retain its 100% accuracy. But I find that just the travel time is just a bit too long. Like, you have to lead your shots a bit more than I would like. But if you can get a weird angle that people aren't very knowledgeable about, then you should be good and set to get at least 1 kill with your ult. And that's where my last video comes in. If you haven't seen my previous video, then you should definitely go watch it. It's about jump peeking with Jett's ult. Honestly, jump peeking with Jett's ult is one of the best things that you can do, because it takes an ult that normally has a lot of risk associated with it, with its higher time to kill than most guns with body shots, and its incredibly high skill gap with the projectiles that it fires. You normally have a lot of risk because you're challenging your enemies to 1v1 or 2v1 duels. But if you pick an angle that they can't normally flick on, then you're good. So finally, before we finish this video, I want to tell you the best defending positions for Jett, because Jett is definitely not an everywhere character. Normally, she's good on A. She's very good on A. and I always play her on B on split. And basically, on any map, you don't want to have Jett in mid, because mid is normally a solo position, and it's better for Cypher to be in mid than it is for Jett, because Cypher can easily rotate and place his gadgets on any surface on either of the sites in the beginning of the round. Jett is a duelist and not a controller, so if you end up fighting a controller, then you're kind of screwed unless you have a controller with you, meaning you shouldn't be solo holding mid, and you should instead be on a site with the teammate. Now, when you're pushing on attacker side, Jett is actually incredibly useful, because, for example, if you're starting here, say you're peeking into mid, you push up, don't expose yourself, shoot, dodge across, shoot a little bit more, and then you run over here. And this can distract your enemies long enough for your teammates to peek out and kill them. For example, you dodge across, go over here, they're aiming at you. Maybe they're even pre-firing you through this box, because this box is bangable, as you see here. Your teammates have a perfect time peeking out and shooting the enemies. Anyhow, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe so that we can get to 1,000 subs by summer of 2020. I'll leave you with a few extra clips for entertainment purposes of me playing with Jett, using some of her abilities to get cool kills. I promise you I won't reuse any of the clips from my previous video where I jump shot. I probably won't have any jump shots either. But yeah, that's how to play Jett.
Headshot.
Spike is dropped on A now. There's a window.
I'm willing to cover us.
Okay. Well, I guess now that you're running, I have to run too, because it doesn't make a difference.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Bye.
No, it wasted my...
He was mid in the past. Where did he bomb on
30
it?
seconds left.
Yeah, he bombed the thing.
Okay.
I got this.
Nice. Going
Hey,
A's.
let's go, dude.
They're pushing B, by the way. They're coming up B.
Nice.
Joke's over. You're dead. I lied.
Right here. I did not expect that, and I was reloading. Damn it.
Spike planted.
Why did you push where you reloaded?
Sage, it's plant C.
I wasn't. I was just standing there.
One
I didn't know he was there.
remaining.
Yeah, William. You already have that recoil pattern down.
You're right.
Nice,
Got it.
close.
Your fault.
Got one that was out of the...
Who's right there?
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Joke's over! You're dead!
One enemy remaining.
What the?
Nice.
I'm gonna ult this. Do you see where? Oh, he's in
Oh, I see.
he's AFK in spawn. Lamau.
Is ranked
10
a thing?
seconds left.
Yeah. No. Just unrated and
Three.